What's up? It's Midrange Mar here, and I am back with another video. And this video will be about no other than the Nets and how bad they look in the last 3 games. The Nets got 122 points dropped on their head, not by the Lakers, not by the Bucks, not by the Nuggets, but the Pistons. Yes, the Pistons of all team dropped a bucket on the Nets. Now, the Pistons have actually been playing well recent games. They've recently gave the Lakers a run for their money, and they've actually beat them a while back. But the problem is, it's still the Pistons. I realize the Pistons are playing well, but you still have 2 of the top best scorers of our generation still playing. And I say 2 because KD wasn't playing, and yeah, every team is horrible. You know how that goes. The Nets have lost to the 76ers, which I won't really talk about because Kyrie and KD wasn't playing, so it really wasn't really a game. What we're going to be talking about is the team's performance without KD. And yes, I know teams aren't the same with their best player, but I expect a little bit more when your second best players are Kyrie and James Harden. The number one thing is, I don't think this team will win the championship, at least for this season. It's just way too many problems on this team to say that they can win a championship. I mean, James Harden has just got to play, and I guess the rotation and everything will be better come playoff time, but the problem is, this team can't play defense. Obviously, Jared Allen was a big part of this team's defense, and it just doesn't seem the same without him there. I mean, it seems a little bit better just because you have James Harden on your team, but you still don't have the defensive presence of Jared Allen. DeAndre Jordan is doing DeAndre Jordan things and isn't really helping. I mean, he gets the rebounds and stuff like that, but on the defensive side of the ball, he can't really do anything else. Joe Harris can shoot, but also struggles with defense at times, and players like Landry Shamet and Bruce Brown aren't really cutting it as good rotational pieces. And it most definitely hurts when you have 2 best players that aren't exactly defensive leaders as well. And we've all seen this in the past when KD is on the floor as well. And I mean, Colin Sexton dropped 42 points on the Nets while wearing Kyrie's sneakers. And Kyrie's 37, KD's 38, and Harden's 21 just didn't help. I mean, it was a close game, but Colin Sexton basically outscored all 3 of them. If we're not going to cap, I mean, obviously he didn't outscore them, but he won the game. So obviously, I can say that. And I know it's early in the season, and I still think they can get it together, obviously, but I just can't help but think that this defense won't be able to go against teams like the Bucks, the Celtics, and definitely a team like the 76ers. And if they somehow do, you probably have to face a team like the Clippers, the Lakers, and even the Nuggets I can toss in there. And I'm going to go ahead and toss the Utah Jazz in there too because they're playing so well. But even those teams, I don't see them playing because they can rip up that defense, and maybe it make it a close series and stuff like that because this offense is amazing. But it's just crazy. I've seen a stat the other day saying the Nets have the best defense possibly of all time if they keep playing like how they are now, and then they possibly have the worst defense of all time. Literally 2 sides of the ball are literally the worst and the best of all time. It's kind of crazy. It's like, imagine DeAndre Jordan guarding Joel Embiid in a 7-game series. Yeah, exactly. But I digress because at this point I would probably try KD at the 5 or something in that nature, or even Steve Nash has that up his sleeve. Maybe he's going to put Steve Nash at the 5 at one point, or because this team's paint defense is probably the worst, and that's probably what you need to focus on first. The perimeter defense is bad too, and what I mean bad, I mean really bad, but the paint defense is what's really starting up and kicking them out, and then they shoot the 3 and everything like that. But if you're going to go full on scoring offense, then you better put KD at the 5, have James Harden at the 2, Kyrie at the 1, obviously. Put Joe Harris even out there. And it's just crazy. And that's the thing that bothers me. This team is literally betting everything this season and their championship aspirations on outscoring the opposing teams. I mean, you can do that and it leads to a success, but we've seen the Rockets do it and it didn't end so well. But Also, the Rockets didn't have KD and Kyrie. And well, they had Harden, but you know what I mean. You just can't win. I still don't think you can win without a good defense. Look at other teams that have won championships in the past. The Lakers, they had a good defense. Hell, even the Miami Heat the Lakers were going against, who bodied the Eastern Conference last year, had a terrific defense as well. Shout out Miami Heat, that's my favorite team, yes sir. The Raptors were a great defense team the year that they beat the Warriors, and even the Golden State Warriors, when they were dominating, weren't that bad defensively, especially when they got KD. They leveled up their defensive game, and also with Draymond, that team wasn't bad defensively. But then again, none of those teams had KD, Kyrie, and Harden on it. I want to give them a chance, but I just can't really keep my eye on it, just because the Nets defense is horrible. And I haven't seen a team that's defense was that terrible and win a championship. They're going to have to do something in the offseason. But obviously, if you're listening to me, then you're not an actual NBA fan. Don't listen to me. This is just my opinion. If you think the Nets are going to win the championship, hey, you go ahead and bet that money. But I'm just going to say it's still earlier in the season, and it's just a video. But my name is almost in my other channel's name. My name is Midrange Mar. And if you like these videos, like and subscribe. And thanks for watching.